Hello, everyone. This presentation is about communicative language teaching, also known as communicative approach. So, what is communicative language teaching? According to Brown, it's an approach to language teaching methodology that emphasizes authenticity, interaction, student-centered learning, task-based activities, and communication for the real world and meaningful purposes. Let's have a look at the background of this approach. The origins of CLT are to be found in changes in the British language teaching tradition in the 1960s. Back then, situational language teaching, SLT, was the major approach to teaching English as a foreign language. SLT is based on the idea that language is taught by practicing basic structures in meaningful situation based activities. However, British applied linguists rejected SLT as it was focused on the mastery of structures rather than on communicative proficiency. So, what are the basic principles of CLT? Principle 1, teaching communicative competence. Communicative competence refers to a learner's ability to understand and use language effectively to communicate in a wide variety of contexts and for a variety of purposes. Communicative competence consists of four elements. The first one, this is linguistic competence, which refers to understanding and using vocabulary, language conventions, syntax. Next, strategic competence implies using techniques to overcome language gaps, plan and assess the effectiveness of communication, achieve conversational and written fluency, modify text for audience and purpose. Next one, sociolinguistic competence, which is having awareness of social rules of language, nonverbal behaviors, and cultural references. And last but not least, discourse competence, which implies understanding how ideas are connected through patterns of organization, conjunctions, and transition words. So let's move on to principle number 2, fluency over accuracy. So, what does this mean? Accuracy is the ability to use the language correctly, while fluency is the ability to use the language spontaneously and effectively. As opposed to traditional methods, CLT regards fluency as the basic aim of language teaching. Thus, fluency practice should precede accuracy practice, and students learn by trial and error. Principle number 3, target language is the language of instruction. Language learning is learning to communicate using the target language. That's why translation may be used where students need or benefit from it. Principle number 4, development of 4 macro skills. Communication integrates different skills. Therefore, speaking, listening, reading, and writing practice starts from the beginning. Principle number 5, communicative activities are essential. Activities should be presented in a situation or context and have a communicative purpose. Typical activities of this approach are games, problem solving tasks, and role plays. So, let me give you an example. As it was mentioned before, contextualization is the basic premise, which means that the meaning cannot be understood out of context. So, if the new topic to teach is present continuous, teacher will not mime the action of walking and ask, "What am I doing? I'm walking." Instead, teacher will show pictures of his or last trip and tell students something like, "Look, I have pictures of my vacation. In this picture, I am with my friends, we're having lunch. In this one, we are swimming, and etc." Mm, let's have a look at teacher and learner roles in CLT. There are two main roles, teacher roles. The first one, teacher as a facilitator, as teacher facilitates the communication process between all participants in the classroom and between these participants and various activities and texts. And the second role, teacher as a participant. Teacher acts as an independent participant within the learning teaching group. Speaking of learner roles, the learner is a negotiator between himself, the learning process, and the object of learning. The implication is that the learner should contribute as much as he gains and thereby learn in an interdependent way. Now let me give you some examples of interactive techniques which may be used in CLT. The first one, these are debates. So students may debate in pairs, defending either their preferred position or the opposite of their preferred position, or half the class takes one position, half the other. Then the two halves line up, face each other, and debate. Each student may only speak once so that all students on both sides can engage the issue. Next technique is also very common. Think pair share. So students share and compare possible answers to a question with a partner before addressing the larger class. Next one, this is jigsaw. Um, learners, for example, learners in three groups hear different versions of an encounter with aliens. Together with other learners, they complete comprehension questions based on all three descriptions of the encounter. Next one, number four, who or what am I? Teacher tapes a term or name on the back of each student or on their forehead. Each student walks around the room asking yes or no questions to the other students in an effort to guess the term. And of course, the term has something to do with the lesson topic. Number five, peer review writing task. To assist students with a writing assignment, teacher may encourage students to exchange drafts with a partner. The partner reads the essay and writes a three-paragraph response. The first paragraph outlines the strengths of the essay, the second paragraph discusses the essay's problems, and the third paragraph is a description of what the partner would change. And last but not least, group test. Mm, Students take an exam as a team, speaking out loud to each other during the exam, but not so loud that other groups can hear them. And they all share the same grade. So that's all about CLT, communicative language teaching. Here you may see a list of resources which were used. And thank you for attention. Stay tuned for more informative videos. Bye.